All right, ladies and gents, I'm actually gonna. Should I switch the colors? I feel like I should switch the colors because of what countries these players are from. This is some T90 Titans League Gold League, so 25th through 48 ranked in the world. Top 10, or sorry, top 8 after the conclusion of the Gold League are going to move in and fill the relegated spots from Platinum League, which I'm sure you guys have been following. We've got some great talents here, and I'm going to just explain a couple things. We've got game 1 here and a play all 3 between these names that I think show kind of what Gold League is all about. First off, you've got Margougou. I said that Gold League is made for players like Margougou. I love our player base. I'm trying to give as many opportunities to everybody. Players like Margougou, they're the players that get me excited about stuff like this because this is a player who's on the younger side, has really shot up over the last year or two, and needs more opportunities against big names. Played very good in recent team game tournaments. Now is in Gold League and is going to be up against the Fat Dragon. And Margougou, I think, came into this. This is round 2. And it was weird because I think one of the players in the group actually played a couple of their rounds within like the same week and a half. So I think at the stage of this recording, Margougou beat Ubetnir 2-1, a Turkish player. And then Fat Dragon had also beaten Ubetnir, but 3-0, okay? So, you know, we talked about Margougou, who's going to go out here and dock now, as picked the Lithuanians, as if we talked a lot about with this map. And then Fat Dragon, guys. Fat Dragon was once seen as a top 10 player. And you could talk a lot about, you know, the reasons why Vivi dropped off, otherwise known as Vivi, if you didn't know that. I think some of his motivation, some of it was the meta. There was even a period here where the tail end of 2021 where Vivi said he was done with Age of Empires 2, right? So Vivi's been all over the place, you know, from 2018 to being top 5, top 10, everyone else improving, Vivi kind of stagnating. Long story short, Vivi, I think, has been playing some amazing Age of Empires. Some of the best Age of Empires 2 I've probably seen from Vivi in a year or two, and didn't have great tournament runs, didn't play a ton in tournaments as well this year, so ended up in the Gold League. Is certainly one of the favorites to get promoted into Platinum League. So we'll see what Vivi can do here. But I love Vivi. And Fat Dragon, the game is better when you have Fat Dragon playing. So from the memes to the style, I think this player is looking sharp these days. So Japanese, awesome on maps where you can incorporate their early flexibility and fish and whatnot. So we see the dock here for Fat Dragon. And then the Lithuanians, as we saw Fat Dragon's scout get hit there, they are known for this early little dock build. But wait a second. Margougou, okay, he is going to Vil fight, guys. He's such a little pest sometimes. And in his mind, maybe he feels like, I need something more. I need something to surprise this player who's better than me so that I can get good results. And look, we have Margougou getting Loom, sees the wood line. This is Vivi's point of view. Now, I tried to Vil fight Vivi in a recent event, so let's see if Margougou can do it. And boom, villager killed just like that. And it also disrupts the wood line, which I think is the important part here. Vivi has to research Loom and has not done so, and Vivi's going to lose 2 Vils. Wow. Honestly, if I know Margougou is going to wall in this lumber camp. Yep, wall it in, force him to make another one. And then I think at this point, you don't even need to continue to be annoying. I think you can just go home because you've killed 2 villagers. You got to be feeling great. So it's a good start. I think the problem for Margougou has been that sometimes Margougou will get too crazy. So certainly dream start there for Margougou and not for Vivi. I mean, Vivi wasn't able to make the fishing ships, whereas Margougou was able to do that. What a crazy strat that was. And yeah, I mean, the wood lines are relatively close together, right? So he's just going to walk home now. Fortunately for Vivi, it is cheaper to make lumber camps with Japanese, but has to place the second one. Vivi down 2 Vils, and we're going to see Margougou up to feudal age. What a great start. That's an awesome start. Yeah, I played Margougou in Masters of Socotra tourney, which is also close quarters, and I knew going into it he was going to Vil fight me. And I actually was able to win 2-0 because I guess me watching the players a lot gives me an idea of kind of what they're going to do. And that was an example of where he went too crazy. Like, there were situations in that where he got ahead of me, and then he just started getting too wild. And I think it's some of that tournament nerves, maybe still being fresh to tournaments compared to some of the old guys like Vivi or something. So I really like how he adjusted there. And let's see what he does next. Vivi on the way up, a little later, but still okay. And has the barracks now. And is now going to gold. I think the barracks might be a little late for Man-at-Arms, but still could do it. But always just be archers for Vivi. Who's right now sending a scout towards the north. Checked this shoreline, didn't see a dock. We have the barracks from Margougou, and Margougou also going to gold. So could be for a sneak vill in some cases to take out their fish, but I'm not seeing villagers making any moves. Here, Vivi attacks the palisade. Margougou just builds the palisade to save the vill. Good play from both players. You guys are ridiculous in chat right now. Okay, so the militia are here. And Margougou saw the barracks. You can tell that, since these are Rex, you can tell we downloaded Margougou's Rex. I guess Robo downloaded it from his profile because we got the wonderful French notifications there. And oh boy, Margougou, you know, you get that early lead with the lame, and now you lose a villager, and now you probably have to delete that house. But it does buy you a little bit of time, and this is a start that Fat Dragon's going to love to the feudal age. Japanese Man-at-Arms. And it's the small things in the early feudal age that can make the difference, and a lot of that comes back to scouting. Don't tell me an archer dies as well, and an archer goes down as well. I think these guys would have played together on ladder quite a few times, so it's not like it's the first time they've seen each other, but there must be a part of Vivi right now who's like, screw you, kid, get out of here. I say kid, I don't even think Margougou's that young. He's like 22 or something, but compared to a lot of the pros in our scene anyways, definitely on the younger side. Whoa, look at this. We have an archer, and now we have a tower from Vivi. So Vivi towering the wood line here. Nice early aggression from Vivi, who's going to try and block with the forward man-at-arms. So we'll see if the villager will go down. Right now, it doesn't look like it. Okay. By the way, if you guys if you have questions about players or like the sets, I'm going to find time today. I know I'm going crazy with the casting, but I'll find time. Tower goes up, and Margougou under pressure. I talk about it a lot. On Atacama, not a big fan of opening archers, because if they go man-at-arms or scouts, they're going to get some pressure on you a little bit faster. I feel like you're never going to have army in time to deny a tower or something. Vivi being super patient, but Vivi also doesn't have fletching yet. So without fletching, I could see this being a bit of an issue. Margougou's micro has been really solid. You are seeing the macro for Vivi's better, though. Keeping the TC working for the most part. As we see the early blacksmith. And that blacksmith, not early blacksmith, late blacksmith. If that blacksmith would have been up already, the wood line would have been massacred by now. Margougou trying to save that vill. Won't save the villager. Also won't get the kill on the archers. The man-at-arm and the skirms here from Vivi are just pushing it away. So more villagers can go down. This pressure from Vivi's insane. And now Vivi has killed more eco than Margougou has. What great control here for the Fat Dragon. As now probably he needs to get out of here. The Lithuanian skirmishers could hunt those archers down. Overall, still a really close game because Margougou's still going to have a woodline protected. And Margougou has the speedy Lithuanian skirms, which is never a bad thing. Now, wood has been a concern for both players because Vivi hasn't even had that much on wood. Vivi's even making a lumber camp here. So, like, this is going to be a messy one compared to some of the other ones we saw. Look, Margougou's trying to dock, doesn't have the wood. So, it's a problem. And Vivi knows it's a problem for him as well because he's gone to stone so he can make towers soon. What do you think Margougou's peak is within the next year? Can he get top 16? I don't think he can get top 16. Like, I think he has the talent, but I haven't seen a huge increase in results yet. Possibly next year I could see him achieving it. I think he's got the talent, but the consistency is maybe not quite there. And that's something, consistency is sometimes for some people, and probably most people, making the same mistake over and over and over again until you finally fix it. It's just tiny little things here or there. But he's up there, and he's definitely on, like, the newer side, right? Like, 2 years ago, you guys wouldn't have known who Margougou was, even though he was playing at a high level. He just didn't get this deep into events. Wow, okay, so I mean, this is a bit of a base trade right now. So I kind of like that Vivi started to go to stone, because I feel like that will be helpful. Also, having the cheap mills and the cheap mining camps is so nice here. Like, he would have spent so much wood if he was any other civ. For Margougou, it's so expensive to have to make this mill and then have to make the dock. Like, he's just not saving as much. Does have fish over here, and Fat Dragon's going to build a dock here. I don't know if that's really the biggest loss for Margougou. There's only 200 or 300 food left there, but I guess that does add up. And Vivi, just waiting now. Just waiting. I actually want to see the total resources collected. Very close, but Vivi's ahead with the food. I think purely because he took the berries already. So we could see that even out because Margougou is on the berries now. And lots of skirms out, so I could definitely see someone switching into scouts here. Have not seen it yet. We see Margougou running this way, maybe for a dock. Probably initially thinking an offensive dock, but I don't know if that will be the case once he realizes that there's no fish there. I'm liking the resources for Margougou a lot more. Margou's adding a stable now, and I think Margou's going to try and go up to Castle Age to make knights. For Vivi, Vivi's got 22 on wood versus 12 on wood. 22 on wood. A lot of that's here, right? And so, while I think taking the berries early was nice, didn't transition into farms or some other source of food income. And Margougou, as Vivi makes a new lumber camp, Margou's on the way up right now. Does have a small problem here as he needs to relocate off a wood line, and we have a tower now from Vivi. But in the end, he's not going to have that many problems against just a few skirmishers. He actually pulls the villagers away. I will maybe lose this villager. Vivi with 5 eco kills. Vivi needs to catch up with the food count, though. Margougou choosing to rush this tower down because he feels like that's the only wood line he can take. Risky business. Might be necessary. Can he pull the weak ones away from here? He is doing so. Oh, this is amazing from Margougou. This is so well played. The weak villagers have been pulled back. What a messy game we have here. Now there's a scout for these skirms, though. Doink! Got him. Unlikely that tower will do anything. Vivi really floating a lot of wood here. Definitely feels like a game for Vivi where he would normally add a market. Guys, there's a chance that Vivi dies to knights. Like, this game has been, at least the last couple minutes have looked really good for Margougou. But Vivi's not going to give up on this wood line. Vivi knows how important the center wood lines are. I just don't know if his army is going to be strong enough. Like, there's actually better army here for Margougou. As again, Margougou doesn't hesitate to send in villagers because there's not many archers here and it's just skirmishers. And yeah, another tower is going to be denied in 10 seconds. The Frenchman is going to be making knights. Might not be able to make that many, but will have knights anyways. The first thing he queues up is a knight. Surprise, surprise. Would still love to see a market for both. Margougou's got 6 on food, guys. This guy needs to add farms here because otherwise he's not going to be able to make a lot. Oh, man. This is still doable for Vivi because he's got farming eco and the knights haven't killed him off yet. Dang. That's what's so tricky about this map. Like, you see someone's on the way to Castle Age faster and then you realize what they didn't have while on the way up. And both players have had instances in this game where the berries help them a lot and it looks good. And then they're done with berries and I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's not actually good. Over here, by the way, there was never a dock for Margougou. I think the villager died. The Vivi could actually fish there. But, oh, wow, the knights get through. And Vivi still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age, but is only up against one knight. One knight and a couple scouts. He's running here for wood. I guess that makes sense. And also loses that villager there on that tower. Okay. Man, Margougou needs to add farms. Margougou needs to add farms and needs this army to get some value. Vivi with the correct decision here, adding the stable. Also, really like how he realizes he needs a tower here, but these villagers. The thing that's funny is, usually Margougou would never find these vills. But let's see how much he loops around here, because I think just because he hasn't scouted this area, he's going to find it. No! No, 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 no! Oh my god, now he's going to run back the other way, I think. Wait, he'll see these vills. Okay, so that's good. Oh, I would have been so sad for him. His knight's going to get some value there, which is awesome. Okay, these 2 villagers will be killed. Still 8 on food for Margougou. Does have 3 knights out, though. It does have siege to push back the towers. It feels like if this army found this, then Margougou might have big enough lead where you could start to think maybe he's got this one. But as he micros this army and Vivi needs to run away, Vivi can still make knights, which can take care of the siege, which could also take care of this army. Looks like some of this army is running into the tower fire. Vivi can do this, guys. This is winnable. 45 eco versus 46. The knights are going to be the key here. And we'll see if Margougou senses it. I feel like if you sense it, you make a monastery. And yep, there it is. He doesn't see ranged army. So he knows it's probably going to be some knights. So he's going for monks. Also, Fat Dragon doing it. And both players realistically should have monks out. And aiming. This is funny. Sitting underneath this tower. But they should be aiming to get monks out to get the relics. Because Lithuanians getting relics means to get all that extra attack. So this will get cleared. But again, the knight numbers. It's right now, it's 3 for Vivi with 4 more in queue. There's 5 with no more in queue for Margougou. He's on 2 TCs. So that's nice. Love the second monastery. I actually think that's a clutch move here because he might sense that he's going to be behind in the knight numbers. And here comes the knight. Villager, repair villager goes down. Siege not protected. Also, you're going to see the siege go down, and the siege is now very much useless at this stage. Okay, Vivi going in a little deeper than I expected here. And, well, he's going to make it away. He does end up losing one of his knights, but he doesn't lose the knight to a conversion, which I think was key. All right, so now Vivi not queuing up more knights. Vivi concerned that he might need wood here. He seems really hesitant to go out to the middle wood. He just seems happy to just take the outer wood, which can never be efficient. He knows monks are a problem. He's now getting Bodkin Arrow, so I think that's just for his towers. And he's going to place a tower over here, I believe. Would make sense anyways. He used to be the master of the towers. That's what he was known for. And then they changed the tower meta a bunch. Meta in general shifted. And all right, Margougou. Oh, the save! The save! He could have lost those vills. This villager could still go down, though. He really needs to get his monks over here. He actually stopped dropping off that relic to get monks over here. He has 2 monks and he has knights, so I think if he just pulls it over, he's actually okay here. 59 eco versus 54. Vivi, though, clearly realizing that he needs to get some damage in here, I think, because he's mixing in cav archers. Dang. Okay. No horse color for either player, so on a map where you're talking about wood being an issue, not having horse color could lead to some big problems. And Margougou, again with the reaction. Man, I'm getting chills, honestly. This game is so beautiful. It's a lovely game. It's back and forth action. So important for both of these two. There's only 5 rounds, guys, and there's a massive difference with what's possible for you if you make it into platinum versus gold where they're at. And obviously, like, just the competition before you even talk about the prize pool and everything else is just so massive for these two. On Night Raid going into the golds, Margougou, though, I don't think he expected the cav archers. And he could lose. Yep, he's going to lose 1 knight and lose 1 to a conversion. Vivi gaining some control over this game, guys. Now, if you're wondering why, it's because the player who's added TCs and is gaining a Vill lead now is putting a lot of the food into that. And so not so much food into the army production. And that can be an issue, especially because Vivi is added light cav to counter the monks. And that should be an easy clear up from him. Vivi with an incredible comeback here. This is so good. Now he knows he can bring the knights back in as well. Vivi with some amazing control. Margougou needs to get control back. The monks and the knights just haven't been enough. He hasn't been able to push. And now look at Vivi as he's going to loop in over here. And guys, Vivi's going to drop a castle soon. Margougou could have some big problems if that happens. Wow. Adding the town centers on the wood line always just feels so right. But then you focus on the eco a little too much, and the players can punish you. But hey, let's see. Vivi's looking for more monks here with the light calf. He's searching. He's going to see that one. I would have run away instead of showing that if I were Margougou. Okay, loses that monk. Vivi will now know there's siege there as well. And he's also still over here. So he's got 2 armies to worry about. Now the 3rd army's coming in with cav archers. And then he's going to drop the castle. And he might not be able to complete the castle because there is siege here. But the siege can't leave because the light cav could get it. Oh, geez. Vivi running away here. The light cav here is going to die. This is where the focus is. +2 armor comes in for Margougou. He does have 8 knights. But Vivi's got monks here. And Vivi can convert all the knights. And Margougou deletes that one. And I'm sure he's just starting to realize that this castle is going to go up. And there's nothing he can do to stop it. Another monk goes down. The siege and the villagers run away. Vivi's going to complete that castle. And Vivi now can take some wood comfortably, finally. Oh, and he's also over here. He's also over here. He knew exactly where the villagers would run. Look at that food count for Vivi. That's wild, man. How did he... I guess he's got some of the fish, but... That's still an insane food count for a guy who's made knights and light cav. Obviously, not pumping villagers out of 2 TCs as well goes a long way. Not getting as many upgrades goes a long way. And Man, Margougou played so well. It's just the moments in early Castle Age that he needed to use to his advantage a little bit more. Such a great game from Margougou. And my experience, too, because, again, like, Margougou and I play each other a bunch. My experience against the big names is all, like, can you make the critical moves when you're ahead? Or are they going to find a way to claw it back? And Vivi has clawed it back here. He moves in with confidence. He knows that this is the only area Margougou is getting wood right now. And he was able to hit the gold on this side. His castle's slowly shooting down the town center as well. If he could just take care of this tower, I'm sure he would move in with his monks. Getting thumb ring now. Getting ballistics, Vivi. Still 1 TC. Oh, excuse me. He's on 2 now. As he's got one in the middle. And now the light cav and the cav archer looping around. Just checking the golds, I guess. Vivi waiting. Margou's still in this. Margou's made a lot of knights. Margougou has 2 relics. So Margougou right now has 10 plus 3 attack on the knights. The key, I think, is actually taking out Vivi's monks. If Vivi doesn't have monks to convert the knights, then it's a different game. It's a different game because if he converts your knights, well, first off, you're not going to have a third of your army. But the other thing is the knights are going to kill the siege. So the siege will be pretty ineffective. Vivi, knowing he has monks, will just take out the scorpion, pull back now to heal up. Goes in again, says, I'll take another scorpion. No, he won't. Will he get a conversion? Vivi, no conversion. The scorpion, though, getting picked off. Vivi with a tower. It's a guard tower, guys. Now the monks are going for conversions. And Margougou knows this is over. He taps out. This is where the game would have ended. A couple knights would have got converted. The guard tower is probably the killer blow as well. Dang, man. What a great game. That was super messy. Like, Margougou killing the 2 villagers there in Dark Age. And I think taking a little bit too much damage in early Feudal Age. And Vivi overall, if you look at the worker efficiency, 72.2% that whole game, which is really high. For an Atacama game, that is really high. And it was 59% the whole time for Margougou. Vivi just had way too much control. And I think for Margougou, it comes back to the farms we talked about. He hit a point where he couldn't produce knights anymore, and he had all this wood. So he just said, let's drop a TC. I like the monks. I like the knights. I thought all that was good. I just think his macro slipped a little bit there. And he was forced into a position where the town center was the next thing to boost his shot in the game because he couldn't make army. And Vivi just started doing dances around him. But still, just incredible from Vivi. So shows how good he is. Margougou showing his skill as well, though. We'll see what happens in the next game. If I had to guess, I'm not looking at Civ drafts and I'm not looking at maps. I'm trying to guess what would Margougou pick as a home map against Fat Dragon. I honestly could see him picking Fortified Clearing or Arena. It's weird because I know Margougou isn't a huge arena guy. But I could see that. I could also see maybe something like Cross, honestly. Which, I mean, you're stuck with it now. There's no other home map, so he's got one to choose. But after this, he might be like, well, I don't know. Vivi's really good. We'll see. So game number 2. And this is some Gold League action again, and Margougou's looking for a response. Again, in his first round, he played the same player that Fat Dragon played in his first round. And Margougou won 2-1 against Ubetnir, and then Fat Dragon won 3-0. And, well, they're up against each other here. Fat Dragon has yet to lose a game in the Gold League. Margougou gave him a tough fight, though, in the first one. And Margougou has gone for Golden Swamp as the home map. And I was curious. I was wondering what the choice would be, because I don't think Vivi loves arena-style maps, but I know Margougou doesn't either. And I wasn't expecting Golden Swamp. I like the choice, though. Vivi has gone for the Berbers. And then we have the Britons for Margougou. And guys, I have seen players just say screw docking altogether on this map and just wall up and play into archers a lot. So maybe with Britons, that's the play. Lots of food. So 800 food from the 2 elephants. Also quite a few water buffalo on the map. And that is still classed as sheep. The Britons have a shepherd bonus, so they would bring in this faster as well. So yeah, my current guess for Margougou is that Margougou tries to go for an early barracks and goes Drush into archers, or even Drush fast castle possibly. But this matchup is a Castle Age matchup. Every time you're talking Britons or Berbers, regardless of who they're up against, that's the key. All their best bonuses come in play in Castle Age for the Britons. You get the extra range on the archers, and then you have the cheaper town centers. And then for Fat Dragon, I would say, I mean, he's certainly worse off at the start because he doesn't have the bonus with the water buffalo, right? He also doesn't have faster producing ranges or anything, but you have a lot more mobility. And Fat Dragon's a very good knight player, so that's kind of what I expect him to focus on. Berber ships are also a bit faster, so that could be helpful too. And wait a second, here he comes with a Vil. He's getting Loom. And we are going to see a dock from Margougou. Is Vivi trying to get revenge for what happened in the previous game? Is he going to try and kill this villager? So Margougou has a scout here. Right? So Margougou has a scout, so he's thinking he's still fine. Let's see if Margougou sees the Vil. In the end, this could be great for Margougou as long as he gets the walls down. Vivi knows that. And oh my god, I love this. Vivi is annoyed at what happened in the previous game with the woodline. And now he's trying to kill this Vil, and he does. But was it worth it? Was it worth it to lose your scout? I mean, it does delay the dock, but his dock was also delayed. That's funny. In the end, for Margougou, I think I would prefer his position. And yeah, Berber villagers are fast, but still you've got a scout and a villager on you now. So Margougou is going to try and get some revenge. And Vivi keeps trying to save the villager by walling it in. I don't think this is worth it for Vivi. But again, I think it's hilarious. And Vivi's still trying to get walls down, and Margougou's just not having it. Yeah, great job. So just attack with your Vil, and then just keep blocking. Block, block, block. Attack when you get a chance, and bam. And now Margougou's halfway, so Margougou says, okay, might as well try and see what I can do. And Margougou sees the dock and 2 villagers. Okay, Margougou, run. You can build a house there just to see if they'll chase, but I would say just run. Margougou actually needed a house, so. Now, this is actually pretty cool from both players. So, and wow, you can tell things got messy with the Vil micro because of the Dark Age eco here. But, oh wow, the house was actually denied. That's funny. But I like this. So, taking the fish with the villagers and also the fishing ships is fairly smart. So, as you can see, you can have land units walk on the terrain here. And you can also have water out there as well. So things like demo ships could be strong later on. Yeah, really sloppy game. Vivi also got housed there for a bit. I guess I'll take back what I said before, and I guess we could see water play. based on the start so far. It would make sense. They both have docks. Right now, I'd say it's pretty even. I'd actually love to take a look at the food collected, though. And, wow, I'm a little surprised. I thought Margougou would have more food because, well, it does have more food, but it could be that, yeah, I think the elephant just hadn't dropped off the food yet. Could be the same for Vivi, obviously. That's where it gets tricky when comparing that because it depends on when the villagers drop off food. But Britain should be better off simply because of the sheep bonus, right? And, yeah, I mean, it very much looks like Margougou is going to go up. Margougou is going to go up without even taking this elephant. Margougou says, screw that. Needs a bit more food, so we'll drop it off from the fishing ships. And we'll click up. And so does Vivi. Okay. Yeah, Margougou definitely didn't have the food at the time that he wanted. Did have some idle TC time there, which could have meant, in theory, you could have one more villager with that. All right, so they're going to treat this as a water v. water game. Not seeing anything to indicate otherwise. This could be a sneak of some kind for Vivi. Remember, he doesn't have a scout, but I think it's just going to be a dock. Not having that scout is going to suck. And now he's sending Vills this way. No barracks yet. It's got to be... Not going to gold yet. No, now he's going to gold. No dock. Okay, the dock's coming up now. So yeah, 2 docks there for Vivi. You know what's going to be annoying for Vivi? Is that house foundation. When he sends ships out here, he's going to patrol into that, and they're going to automatically attack that house. And Margougou says, can we rehost? I have huge lag spike. Save. Yes, you save. Okay. Gotta love Vivi with the caps. Yeah, so I guess they restored this one. Let me check. Yes. Okay, I do have a restore file here. And, all right, so it should be from the same spot. I guess they were lagging, and they just wanted to restore it to fix that. Should be okay. And, yep, we didn't miss too much. I think we missed like 10 seconds, so everything's good. All right, so another dock here from Margougou. So now it's a question of what do we see them open with? Is it going to be galleys or fires? I think fires is the safe play. I think galleys is a risky way to do it. And now Vivi, walking forward with these Vills, is making the double fires. And Vivi's going to make a tower? What? There's not even really any fish here anymore, man. I mean, this is really weird. Margou's going to see this. I will be interested to see how this does, because obviously the tower could help against ships, but I've never seen anything like this before. What a weird game, man. Some of our stats get reset with idle TC time and all, so keep that in mind when trying to look at the data here. And that starting scout, doink, gets a kill, and yeah, what a weird move from Vivi. Can't say I agree with that. Now, he has the faster ships, and now we're going to see both sets of villagers probably repair, which is going to look ridiculous. The scout here is going to get fought off, and now the villagers have to get back to repairing. Somebody screenshot this and post this in the Discord. Peak Age of Empires. Just repairing fiery ships the whole time. I'm waiting for the demo to come in, though. They both have demos in queue. 2 docks for Vivi. 3 docks for Margougou. So if they're doing this, it should be better, assuming the production continues for Margougou. Obviously, it does depend on other factors. And as mentioned before, I think this house is going to be really good for Margougou. The eco does matter, though. Like, taking berries, adding farms, all that stuff is really going to matter in the long term. We actually have a barracks from both of them. And maybe Vivi, as he deleted that tower, he wants to focus on this gold tier. And here he comes with a demo. He wants to hit the other demo. And got him. Good stuff. Another demo's here. He's actually looped around with his fires. And Margougou doesn't have much at home. Margougou lands a good demo shot, though. And then, obviously, Vivi's got to run with those fishing ships. Lots of demos for Vivi. I think Vivi's just saying, screw this water game. And I'm just going to go for demos to kill everything. Here comes demo ships to maybe go for fish. You could also just steal the fish, I guess. These villagers... Honestly, the villagers should run towards the demo. That's what they should do. And Margou's attacking the tower. Now the tower's up. Vivi has demoed the dock. And now he demos a fishing ship. And now he's adding a stable for scouts. Wow, this is unique, to say the least. But you know what's smart from Vivi is I think he sensed that he was going to lose water. And at least he sniped fish. And also... with this galley here, where did he send it? He could actually kill these vills too because he has a galley. So in the end, I think Vivi benefits from all this. Because Margou's producing a ton on water, but doesn't have any fish to protect. And that's the thing about this map. It's like there's not that much fish. Obviously, it is important, but... yeah, I just don't know. Now, we have a sneak archer range from from Margougou, excuse me. He doesn't know exactly what Vivi's base layout is, but that's exciting. Vivi's going to have scouts, though. We'll see if Vivi spots it. Margougou takes out the tower, or will take out the tower, because Vivi doesn't have the stone left to be able to repair this. Now Margougou wisely runs away. Vivi getting horse color, though. I love this. He's going to start fixing in some farms now for Food Eco. And Margougou with 9 fire galleys. But 9 fire galleys to protect what? It's got to be just the gold in the middle right now. Because we're actually going to see the villagers go out here, try and take this gold, and this villager's just going to make a run for it. Okay, if you sneak archers, you need 5 archers minimum with fletching, okay? If you're going to move in without fletching, you want to have more than that. Here come the scouts now. And these scouts will go in after this villager. Remember, this is a home map pick from Margougou. I can't help but think that Margougou didn't expect the game to go this way. And now we'll lose these villagers as well. I think just picked up on the fact the scouts are out. Vivi's just going demos and scouts, demos and scouts, demos and scouts. And, oh, pull back this way, demo. Oof. Demo also hit the freaking house, man. What Margougou does know, though, is that a spearman's needed and that walls are needed. And, man, is this messy. So here come the scouts. And this, to me, looks like Vivi is going to have... well, Vivi's going to have a fun time microing, and he's going to feel great about it, even though there's one spearman, until the archers show up. When the archers get in the wood line, this is a problem. And yeah, fletching is on the way as well. So I think there's a double whammy incoming here. I could see Vivi losing all of his scouts and also losing his entire wood line. Like, this is going to be almost impossible for him to defend all this. Let's see. Archers show up just as fletching hits. This is perfect. The Berber villagers are going to run. How does Vivi micro here? He's going in. He's attacking. Now the spearman's getting hits. Vivi wisely runs away. Thank God for him he's Berbers, right? Because if he didn't have Berber villagers, he wouldn't have been able to run away that fast. 46 pop versus 48. Margou's eco's also all over the place, but the scouts are getting killed. And he's now able to do damage at Fat Dragon's base. The Fat Dragon just quickly gets some houses down and drops a market. But has been fishing. I mean, I feel like the fishing ship's working has been a small bonus here for Vivi. Vivi doesn't know there's a hole over here, apparently, or at least hasn't plugged it yet. Vivi didn't know where the archers were coming from, probably until now. It feels like he wants to go Castle Age, but he can't take gold. Margougou with some great control. And honestly, Margougou should win this game from here. Vivi has to go YOLO. What Margougou has to do is just macro behind this pressure. I'd say a weakness of Margou's at times, because he's so aggressive, is the eco side. And here he comes. And he's going to dive underneath this tower, which will go up. He's able to kill 2 vills. And we'll see if he kills more. These archers have looped around, though. Vivi really wants the left side of his base. He's going to tower his gold here in a second, I think. Margou's macro is looking really good. 9 seconds of TC idle time is honestly insane. The fact that it's 5 seconds for Vivi is also insane. I know those villagers are important, and the tower's going to end up going up here. Can we call him Fat Vivi or Vivi Dragon to avoid confusion? No. How many people here didn't know Vivi was Fat Dragon until, like, recently? Because he was calling him, everyone was calling him Vivi and not Fat Dragon for a while, so. Curious on that. Anyways, Margou's in a great spot. The two ranges only being forward only become a problem if he gets hit at home, though. Knowing Vivi, if Vivi has a chance here, Vivi is going to use the knights and run them right underneath his TC. Because he's going to go tower defense at home. And he knows he needs some sort of counterattack. I think these are the moments where... And these are the things with someone like Margougou. How many tournament sets has he played against someone in this type of position? Is he going to be able to sense that Vivi's just going to stream knights right into his eco? Like, it's a basic thing on the back of everything he's doing here, which is so good. Vivi's now going to add another tower. Vivi's still pretty heavy on stone. And Margou's showing that he wants to dive underneath this tower again. Wow. So aggressive. Will probably lead to a villager kill. Does take Vivi off of stone. All right. That villager actually survives for now. I don't like diving underneath the tower in most instances. I don't mind it in this case. But the reason I don't mind it is just because he needs to have... Oh, he did it here as well. He needs to have army numbers. And you see what Vivi's able to do. Vivi will send the weak ones into the towers. So very rarely are you going to kill that many villagers with this. And then you just lose armies. So actually, no, I don't like that he did this. He ends up losing a lot of his army. That's only because everyone's so good. At your elo, guys, whoever's watching this, you can dive underneath the tower like that. Players are able to save those weak villagers so much better at this elo. Okay, crossbowman's on the way and bodkin arrow. We have a TC over here for Margougou. Chose not to TC the middle, and I like that. He doesn't have a lot of security out there yet. Has all this range with the Britons, wants to utilize it now, and wants to boom a little bit at home. Pressure, man. So much pressure. It's crazy how fast this game is. It's so many tiny things happening all the time. Again, he's going to dive underneath the tower here. I think he's trying to do a little too much, but he does get to a spot where the other tower can't hit, and it does force reactions from Vivi. And maybe Vivi makes mistakes elsewhere. You never know. Oh! 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 No! Oh, the crossbows are Margougou gone, man. Oh, jeez. Vivi. Sneaky, sneaky, man. Because Margougou never took out the docks. And we have a monastery in the middle now for Margougou, which could be denied, by the way. No, it'll go up. Margougou with the lead. But Margougou had the lead in the previous game as well. And there's the TC for the Fat Dragon. No, Paladin is another Chinese player. Paladin is not Vivi. And Paladin normally plays team games. Okay, so it's interesting how Margougou went for knights from home. I don't mind that. Something that I talk about all the time is, in these messy games, are you remembering to get horse color? It feels like it's so necessary. Vivi's going to see this TC. Might attack because there's been no reaction. But does have a lot to react to over here. Margou's done a great job of sitting right out of range of the towers, and Vivi just says, screw that. Let's not be too crazy. Looks like Vivi lost a knight here. Margou's tracking it with some spearmen. There's not many upgrades on these knights, so that could be dealt with. Margougou still with full control. Does have a Siege Workshop Foundation over here, which feels out of place at the moment. And okay, now that this has been cleared, it feels like Margougou needs one condensed push. There's been a lot of tiny little things happening. One condensed push seems to be the key now. Trying to get little pickoffs here or there. That could lead to you losing a main fight if Vivi focuses his attention somewhere. Vivi shows up. There's a monk in the middle, though. There's now fire galleys for Vivi because he realizes water will become important. 74 pop versus 56. This monk could also convert the fire galley, which wouldn't be bad. The monk could also die to the fire galley, which would be bad. Fire galley getting repaired from Margougou. Love it. And I think monks are just your best friend right now because you can get conversions. Uh-oh. That monk's not your best friend. But yeah, you can get conversions and then on ships and also knights, and the monk is the best friend. The monk converts, or I should say convinces the knight to switch sides. And now he gets burned for it, so that's kind of sad. Vivi is really good with night production. And look at the TC idle time. He has very little TC idle time as he whittles down a knight there. He loves knights. He loves eco. He's on 2 TCs, continually producing fires, continually producing his knights. And I think Vivi will just hop out. If he loses this, he's just going to hop out with the knights most likely. Yeah, he's going to kill the monk. Here. Oh, his Siege Workshop got denied on the left side. That's huge. Okay, even fight here. Margougou going out for repairs. Margougou with the conversion. Margougou stepping it up on water too. Great stuff from Margougou. Does lose his crossbows. But I like how he's bringing these crossbows to the middle. I like how he's adding more on water now. And Margougou's starting to extend his lead. It was looking like Vivi could maybe claw his way back into this. But now, the more I watch it, the more it looks like Margougou has made that impossible. Can Margougou get a win here against Vivi? Undefeated so far in the Gold League. Picked this as a home map. There's no demo in there. I'm sure he's scared there's a demo in there. There is not. And that will be Vivi's last dock. Maybe Vivi's last hope. He's going to fight, though, guys. He is going to drop a TC back here. But I can say from this position that Margougou has to win. Bigger economy. Bigger military. Control of the middle. Has navy. Has crossbows. Vivi's got 1 knight and 3 TCs right now. This has to be a victory for Margougou. I think Vivi's going to have 1 last attempt. For now, Vivi's going to try his best to hold. But I think it will be an all-in night flood towards the middle. And Margougou just kind of has to brace for that. And obviously be very careful with the crossbow numbers. He might end up determined that running in here is impossible for him, and he just wants to keep Vivi guessing. Because when he sees the Siege Workshop, I know he's confident with his micro, but he might just need to run back. Love Margougou's play here. And here comes Vivi. Vivi's going to try and build another Siege Workshop there, I think. It's not like there's any extra gold out there. He's got plenty of gold in his base. Let's see. Is Margougou microing or macroing? He actually noticed that, guys. And he tried to run that way, but accidentally clicked the house. Look how confident he is. He says, screw your siege. I don't care. I'll take out the repair villager, and I'll stay here. This guy's a beast, man. He's such a good player. Stable here for Vivi. This could be denied. Vivi knows it will be denied. I think the villagers will split up. Another repair villager got picked off as well. The knights now go in. Oh, my goodness. He's playing so good right now, Margougou. And great job. This is why people are getting excited about him. I do think that he has the skill to possibly get promoted out of gold. Bad time to say that, but you guys know. You saw everything else, right? So we're good. He really needs a few more farms going to get up towards Imp. And I think, he's got a lot of abilities. So you can understand the micro. But I feel like if his APM is put into seeding 10 more farms instead of microing here over the last 30 seconds, I feel like it's much better for him, you know? And I think that's ultimately where players have to start to make decisions differently in, Gold League. Because there's a lot of speed players in Gold League, but... And then some players are just they're making the decisions as fast as they can, and they're prioritizing things nicely. But for Margougou, I'd say it's solely the economy. The micro side, he's definitely a superior player to someone like Vivi and a lot of other players out there. Where's Margougou from? He's from France. Yeah, he and Sato, the top 2 in France right now. Mixing in pikemen, expecting some type of all-in knight play from Vivi. It's a correct call. Vivi comes out here with the siege. Gets a little too close to the shoreline, but will back off now. We are going to see a get out of my game. Give me the momentum into the next game type of castle. Or it could be throw the game type of castle. Which one is it going to be? I think Margougou will be able to complete this one. He's got enough crossbows. He's got some monks. He's got some pikemen. And he's got the navy. That monk there dies. I don't know why players don't get freaking sanctity, man. Research Sanctity for your monks and you don't get one-shotted by Siege. It's that simple. But it doesn't matter. The castle will go up. And I think Vivi's going to be handed his first loss in Titans League. And Margougou is going to get a big, big win for him. Yeah, that castle should be the nail in the coffin here for Vivi. Vivi does such a good job producing villagers, though. After all of this, 3 minutes of TC idle time since the restore. 95 villagers versus 107. The problem is he doesn't really have the numbers. And he was trying to get a little side base up so we could raid. That kept getting denied. I think he might try again here. As of now, Margougou hasn't actually killed a lot more. But on a map where the majority of the gold is going to be towards the middle, Margougou has it. And that's enough crossbows where siege won't really be an issue. Not with the Britons anyways. Vivi, guys, Vivi is still trying. And Margougou needs to just get a few more farmers and stop producing pikemen, stop producing villas, and just go up to imp. Vivi's up. And Vivi finding this stone means that he might be able to make a castle to maybe treb it all back. Then again, his TC just went down. So how good is this position, really? Knights are attacking is stable, probably less than ideal. If Vivi can take out all these crossbows, Margougou might actually lose from this game in this position. It should never be a loss, right? Should never in a million years be a loss, this game. But it could be. It could be. There's a chance. With 97 vills and the potential to treb this down, maybe there's a chance. Now Margougou senses something's up. He's like, okay, let me get to imp. Still feels like Margougou should never lose, as long as the crossbow mass is there. Yeah, his imp TC will stay up. He's in one of these back two TCs. There's no risk that he's going to lose that. He also has gold and wood and food back there. He's going to try and sneak villagers into the back and raid. Like, these knights are still being super annoying, but 180 pop for Margougou. Vivi has to make the castle at home. And I don't know what military he really makes in this game that can really counter the enemy. Look at Margougou. Still playing with fire, man. Still playing with fire, but he'll take care of the siege. Boom. Boom. Britain's insane with their range. Boom. Thank you. You can't go Onager against Britons because they get even more range in the next stage. So Onager would be a mistake. What are these random villagers doing here? Okay. Vivi's up. Vivi's also making knights from here. We'll see if he denies the castle. Margougou's microing. This is a lot of micro before you get that extra range, but he doesn't care, man. He doesn't care. 40 seconds from imp. Still waiting to see if Vivi's going to call it here. Again, like, you can see why Vivi has continued to play. Look at this. Finding more damage over here as well. Whew. T90, was it ladder ranking that determined which league a player falls into initially? No, it was tournament performances. Using ladder is not a great way to determine a player's skill. But, of course, ladder has its own benefits, right? So I think, you know, for Vivi's chances, he really needs a castle at home, and he needs to be treb pushing this. Based on the side, I love. In fact, I think the base on the side is fantastic, and he still has 105 villagers, so he's still going to fight. He's not out of gold yet. But he needs a castle somewhere, and it felt like that castle had to be up before Margougou was able to make trebs. We'll see, though. Vivi hoping to go ram knight push on this side, and Margougou going to go for the pointy boys to counter the cav. Vivi's a fighter. Again, hasn't lost yet in Gold League, so doesn't want to lose. I think it's fair to say is the superior player overall, at least, you know, based on what they've achieved in their careers. But, you know, That doesn't necessarily mean anything these days as players continue to improve, and someone like Margougou's shown in this game what exactly he's capable of. Even shown in the first game. Like, could have won the first game. It wasn't like that was the stomp. Margougou had leads in that game. But I don't know, man. It feels like Vivi again needs to take care of this castle. I will say Margougou is... He's not finishing the game with this position, which is a little concerning, but I think you have to remember he's playing safe. He's just making sure he doesn't lose ground here. He knows how good his spot is as long as he doesn't make any crucial mistakes. Yeah, exactly. We use something called... So I don't know how familiar you guys are with tennis. I think tennis's ranking system is ATP. Anyways, Age of Empires tournament points is the system. And that's what we use to place the players. It gives different weights on... So it weighs in all Age of Empires tournaments, but it'll give like more points based on how competitive the event was, or like S tier versus A tier, C tier, whatever. So, man, Vivi's still... Guys, Vivi is still in this game. He's going to take out the Treb, which I imagine was a mistake from Margougou. Vivi is like almost out of gold, and his population has only gone up. Don't tell me Margougou's going to lose this game. What is happening right now? There's more cav over here. Margougou's scrambling. Again, if Vivi had like 4 Trebs here, I just don't think he has the gold. But if he had Trebs to be able to take this castle out and run to the middle, maybe there'd be a chance. I still don't think there's a chance, though. Margougou's got to close this out. He can't deal with the raids from Vivi. Like, Vivi can only go Cavalier and raid for so long before he is just dead because he'll be out of gold. As we see another castle from Margougou. But still, I mean, the Cavalier getting so many kills. This is insane. Like, this is definitely something you've got to look at and say, Ram Halb immediately, never let this happen. This has been here for a long time. Okay, Vivi calls it now. Finally, Vivi calls it, but that, man, did he really put up a fight. Again, I just don't think that he had enough to be able to push this area back, and I think that was the key. Vivi was going to try and switch into skirms. Would have taken forever. Would have still lost the game. What a fight from him, though. Margougou gets a good win on the board. Big for the Frenchman. We will then go on to Game 3, which is Vivi's home map. Obviously, it's play all 3 guys, so we would have seen that regardless, but I'm excited to see what Vivi will choose. I could see Vivi picking a map like Arena if it's available. I could see him picking Fortified Clearing. Don't expect any maps with water. I would say any land map. Maybe even we'll go Arabia. Though Margougou, very capable Arabia player, so I don't know. Like, Fat Dragon, clearly I feel like this map pick was maybe because Vivi never plays it. I don't know if Fat Dragon is going to use the same type of thinking against Margougou. I feel like the better player always just goes for whatever they like, and they don't really think about it too much more. Okay. Wait, what the? Vivi? Okay, so final game, and we have to switch the colors because I've been doing that. And we have Fat Dragon in the red again, playing as the Goths, which is the last Civ I ever freaking expected here on Serengeti. And Margougou's got Mongols. Huge advantage for Margougou Civ-wise. With the Goths, I don't know if Supplies is in chat. We have a viewer here who loves the Goths. But, like, with the Goths guys competitively, we're always talking about how Civilization doesn't really have any eco bonuses. They have to make the games messy. And then if it gets late, they can dominate everything. But wow. Again, I didn't look at the Civ draft, but Goths can't have been the best, couldn't have been the best option that Vivi had. So I think he is going to make it messy. Here he comes with a Vil. Goths research Loom instantly. About 2 years ago now was when the meta started with the forward villager with Goths. I made a bunch of videos on it. And, I mean, it was even stronger before. They used to get Loom for free, so they didn't have to spend the gold on it. And it almost looks like Margougou senses this, too. Yeah, Margougou researched Loom. Margou's like, I know the way of the Vil fight. So, bring it on here. And Margougou simply just wants to keep this hunt alive. Doesn't want it to be shot down. Huh. Vivi picking Gots. I mean, again, in terms of the opportunity, it's just huge here for Margougou to get another win. Won 2-1 in the first round. Now 1-1 here with Fat Dragon. And yeah, like this villager's accomplished nothing. Margougou pushed it away nicely. And Margougou says, screw the lumber camp. I'm going to go mill first. Because I don't know how long this hunt's going to be here. We have fantastic job tracking the vill. Sees the vill. Not worried about the villager at all. Again, all this vill was meant to accomplish was to shoot these things down. You need 2 shots per animal, and then it just rots there. Or it decays, but you can still eat the food pretty quickly if you're Mongols. So it doesn't, I mean, does it really even hurt? Fat Dragon brings another vill. I don't know if it even really hurts you that much if you're Margougou. Just at this point, though, if you're Margougou, you actually want to take the hunt. I guess that's the key thing. Actually be eating the hunt. It's so annoying. Like, Vivi's now idling 4 villagers. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is you want to kill the vills, and the Vivi's had 2 idols, and you've had 4, and you're not taking your hunt. Margougou, you've got to take the hunt here. Maybe just so determined to push these vills away, and just has forgotten you do have a hunt bonus after all. Okay, so Vivi trying to run with this vill. And, well, we'll see. This scout is 1 hit away from going down. So it's merely a distraction scout. If Margougou wants to kill the villager, villager is now on 2 HP. Scout could do it. Watch, the scout's going to act like it's going to attack, and it's going to run back. No! Run back there, and you kill it with the vill. Okay. So, look at all the control Vivi's had, right? Vivi actually has 1 more vill. Because, actually, it might end up being 2 more. Because Loom researched instantly for him, and 9 seconds of TC idle time. And then for Margougou, it took 30 seconds for Loom to research, and then 31 seconds of TC idle time. In the end, Margougou will be able to take the hunt. But oh my god, man. This guy. Is it even worth it? It's probably worth it to annoy Margougou. Villager number 3. I guess this is one of the original ones. Okay, there he goes. I mean, let's check the food collected right now. Vivi's had more resources collected. The Mongol player has not had that hunt bonus boost that you would normally have. So again, I mean, it's tough to know because it feels like it's free villager kills. But I actually don't mind this because then at least you're going to know exactly where Vivi's TC is, which you don't know without a scout. But I do kind of feel like Margougou overreacted with 4 villagers chasing earlier. Okay. Margougou sees the sheep and will send the sheep home. Might just fight the villager back. Again, neither player has a scout right now. Vivi at least knows where Margougou is. Margougou doesn't know where Vivi is. And now this villager's just going to keep running around. If you think of the normal uptimes for Mongols, though, it's like 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So I actually like what has happened here for Vivi. We are going to probably see the click up to feudal age here from Margougou. But I think the mission was somewhat accomplished here, though obviously things could have gone a little bit better. Vivi misses out on 200 food from the goats there. Vivi has to place a mill here to get some food. Vivi still hasn't clicked up to feudal age, so it might end up being the same gap between the players that you would have if they would have played Dark Age in a standard way. Flaw says, I hate that they nerfed the loom bonus. Gots needed something for early game. But sure, nerf a save that is an OP, but give Hindustanis all the extra stuff. I agree with you that the devs showed their... what's the tactical word for this? I agree with your outlook. Let's just not even use a word for it. That how they balanced certain new civilizations and just civs in general shows that they maybe need to go back to the drawing board. Oh my god, the villagers just got walled in. Margougou says, you live here now. I hope you like the trees. Wow. But also, I think what they did with Goths was fine. I honestly think what they did with Goths was fine. Because that... we could see it again. And Vivi says no. Margou's going to try again. Margougou making a range at home. Yes, Margougou is. But yeah, so it's just to complete my thought, the free loom thing was even more obnoxious than what we had seen here. And oh my god! Margougou walls in another vill! Vivi has 2 villagers trapped and is coming back for more. Dang. Talk about new meta. I mean, it's not that move. Some players are really good at it, but okay. These villagers are just idle. Oh, needs a new palisade. There you go. Build the new palisade. Now, the problem for this lady is this might not be worth it in the end if you die. Oh, God. No way. Okay. Okay. She's free. Oh, jeez. What is happening? Oh, no. Wait, there's a lion, though. Wouldn't it be so funny if Margougou loses a vill to the lion instead of losing a vill to the villagers and the militia there? Well played, well played. Round of applause for Margougou. But no, I really think that what they did with the Goths was fine. Goths are a tricky civ to balance. It's probably the toughest civ to balance in the game because of how good their late game can be. So, what they were doing before was a bit much. Okay, so fast archers and spearmen here from Margougou. This is great against some scouts. I think that villager is going to be hunted down by Fat Dragon. Who's now attacking the house, which is really funny. So looking for the vill with the scouts and patrolled into a house. Did force Vivi into a tower here. And at home, everything's looking pretty good for Margougou. And the villager is going to make it home as well. But I like the pressure from Margougou. Margougou is able to take berries. Margougou should be able to make a spearman at home. And here this archer gets saved. That should be no problem at this point. I'd say the only thing is Vivi's really good with microing scouts and the spearman's out of position right now. Margougou, a little wasteful, and Vivi's going to get that vill kill. So 1-to-1 with the vill kills for this game. Must be really awkward if you're Margougou to do damage right now, because this area is kind of protecting everything. Even the new farms will go next to that mill. So needs to just play defensive right now, and normally the archer player, I don't know about hiding in the trees. I would say just try and hit the walls. You want the archer mass to be so dangerous that Vivi has to go into skirms, basically. And wow, bloodlines for Vivi. Wow. Okay, so his scouts, 6 scouts. That's a lot of scouts. Wow. Those scouts will all have 65 HP base, so that's enough to fight off 2 spearmen, no problem. 1 spearman already is no problem. And you can tell that the archers want to be protected by the spearmen, but the villagers, I guarantee you, they want to be saved as well. And good reaction there from Margougou, but Margougou so far has all this army. Not a lot of kills to really show for it. And Vivi, just playing very clean. Age of Empires. Playing into skirmishers now. Here, going in, killed another villager. Having horse collar is amazing. The food on these farms is going to last a long time. It's not abnormal, by the way, to skip horse collar for the opening that you would have had here from Margougou. But that's not really a standout thing. The standout thing is having all this army and taking so much damage. Vivi has made this look so simple, so easy, so clean. Obviously, Vivi realizing the longer this game goes, the better it would actually be for the Goths, as we see a little gate. And again, Margou's got the skills to pay the bills, but Vivi just runs away. I don't even think Vivi needs to be worried about this. Look at this, guys. Okay, that's a house. I thought he was sending the skirms forward. Margougou, desperate to get to Castle H here, uses the market to try and click up. And, hello, militia. That's kind of funny. Over here, we have the skirms looping around for Vivi. Should be able to take care of this army fairly easily. you've got two choices. You've got skirmishers or you've got tower. And it looks like Margougou has chosen tower. But yeah, Margougou's actually going to get away. Margougou on the way to Castle Age. If you get a blacksmith here, would you want to get forging first? I think the way Margougou is playing, you actually want to not get any upgrades at this point. But yeah, if you had the blacksmith, I would say getting forging would have been arguably more helpful than bloodlines there. But the reason I say you don't want to get your upgrades before clicking up here is just because you don't want to be too late to Castle Age. And skirms are still pretty okay in these numbers here. Here, another villager. Oh, that's a spearman, sorry. Goes down to the scouts. Man, Vivi's just so good with his scouts. Also, the theme I've noticed between these two is that Vivi rarely has TC idle time, regardless of what happens. 20 seconds of TC idle time. And then Margougou, it's 90 seconds. So I think it's just the style thing, right? There's a lot of micro involved with how Margougou plays. Vivi plays more defensive and more relaxed. So Margougou's style has the highest potential. I like how he's using follow command here from the scout. You don't see that a lot. But, you know, if you don't do the damage, then you end up regretting some things later on, possibly. Okay. Scouts are moving in. Hoping to kill a villager here, I'm sure. Here come the archers, though. Crossbows on the way. And there's also a stable out there for Margougou. Margougou added the skirms so he could push back... Or scouts, sorry, so he could push back skirms. And Vivi ends up killing a vill, but loses all the scouts. Probably worth it for both players. Vivi happy to kill more villagers, though. Scots don't have any exciting bonuses right now. It's the cheaper infantry, really, that you get excited about, but... Sure, they get elite skirm. Sure, they get knights. But it's not cheaper. There's nothing that wows you about it. So Vivi just has to delay this game as long as possible. The farm count for Vivi is insane, though. And we're going to see a TC now from Margougou as he wants to catch up with villagers. Okay, elite skirm, bodkin arrow for Fat Dragon. He has 11 of them. And he's also going to make knights. And here he doesn't lose a villager. Margougou still desperate for damage. Margougou going to mix in the knights. You know, the problem, again, I'm seeing from Margougou is just the lack of eco. It's like the military's there, and then the eco's not. And I don't even know if the knights are going to contribute much against the skirms if he doesn't have a lot of them. 2 knights shouldn't really do all that much with no upgrades. Very fair point, Blackacre. That's actually a huge point that you just made, and I probably should have called it out myself. It's that Mongols don't really have any bonuses at this stage either. The hunt's gone. Vivi's approach, I guess, was to push it into this stage of the game where both civs don't have any exciting bonuses. But yeah, okay, we see villagers on stone for Vivi, a monastery to get some monks out there. And the skirms are currently just chasing this down. This should lead to Margougou making more knights. Margougou, though, on 3 TCs with 10 farms. You need 6 farms per TC to keep all your TCs running. So adding the town centers maybe for protection more than anything. Obviously, we'll have to catch up on the farm count. But yeah, knights with bloodlines here. So the knights are even stronger for Vivi, and he's still trying to chase this down. But his knights aren't strong enough to kill the crossbows on their own. Vivi pulls the weak knights back, maybe to go get conversions. Margougou takes the fight now that these knights are here. The knights will go against the knights, though, but then the crossbows will go against the knights, and the skirms will go against the knights. Good job from Margougou. Margougou still massing the crossbows. Fixing the farm problem, adding a few more. Also is pretty heavy on stone. So, might eventually drop a castle. I don't know if that means Mangadai production or if it's just for protection. Okay, so this gold's important. For Vivi... This gold, which he may or may not see, and this gold. Gold is super awkward on this map in Castle Age. Knights running in here for Vivi, hoping to get some damage in. Pull the skirmishers back home, expecting them to show up. Sees it. Margougou dodges. Margougou also shows up with the knights. But you notice how Vivi doesn't even respect him. Vivi just knows they don't have upgrades, so no, he's fine. Margougou having to play some amazing defense there. Also has to back away here. And wow, a great game It's a play all three. Points will matter more so for Margougou, I'd say. This is arguably Margou's toughest opponent. You could maybe make arguments it's Vivi's toughest opponent in the group. But Vivi went 3-0 in the first round, remember. And Margougou went 2-1 in the first round. But the fact that this is 1-1 right now, and all the results we talked about, Fat Dragon and Margougou are probably going to be near the top of the group after the first 2 rounds. They're both going to be feeling pretty good. I forget who else is in their group. Can someone maybe look at the bracket I have in the comments there and remind me? I do not have Gold League memorized. Obviously, there's going to be some talented names in their group, though. 62 villagers versus 55, so the early TCs were worth it for Margougou. Margou's farm count is now significantly higher than before, so keeping them all producing. Yeah, Blackacre, I think people are just chilling out right now. I don't think it's bugged. Vivi with 1 relic. See, relics are great if the game goes late. Vivi hoping to get relic number 2, but might lose this monk. Vivi has chain barding armor on the knight, so knight skirm, great upgrades here. And Margougou kills the monk. Now Vivi says, oh man, I guess I'm just going to raid with knights because it's another day in my life, and I love to raid with knights. The thing that is so tricky against someone like Vivi is that if you don't force him to react all the time, he's going to do this to you. But if you go to his base, he's normally pretty well defended, and his eco is pretty good, right? So it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't attack the guy, so you don't overextend, then he's going to hit you, and mistakes can happen. But Margougou with the save, Margougou with the epic save, there's still a knight there, though, so that's still going to get some killagers. It's still going to get kills on villagers. But I like killagers. We should stick with that. Wow. He's still going to get some killagers. What else can we do? What if you kill crossbows? He's still going to get some... No. Cross kills. Cross kills. That's good. Help me think of other examples. Still going to get some... Drush. If you kill a drush. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Sorry, sometimes my brain just moves a little too fast. Not very frequently. Normally my brain's too slow, so I was just trying to balance things out here. 2 town centers for Vivi. However, Vivi has the stone now to drop a castle with the Goths. We know how dangerous that can be. Lots of skirms, lots of knights. Oh, he wants to drop it there. I thought it would be a defensive castle to take the game late. No, man. If this castle goes up, it is going to be so problematic for Margougou. But it might not even go up. They both have massive armies. I think it's better for Fat Dragon, though, because Fat Dragon has a fat amount of knights. The knights are going to do so well here. Skirms can push away any crossbows. I think even if the fight was 50-50, it's still fine for Vivi because Vivi can drop the castle. And that's the key. Now, let's see if the fight is 50-50. This seems to be going better for Vivi as well as the castle going up, which is a big problem for Margougou. It's 30 army versus 15 now. It's only crossbows remaining. We've got +2 armored knights. We have skirmishers, and then there's going to be Huskarls on the way too, which is an anti-archer unit, excuse me. And this might be the end here, actually. This went from same population for both players and a pretty even game to just a slaughter. And Vivi said, I'm going to pick Goths of all civilizations in the final game. Deny your hunt as long as possible and turn it into a game that I can dominate with Goths. That's crazy. Also getting herbal medicine right now so he can heal up in castles, which is pretty wild. What a play. And yeah, you wouldn't even need another unit right now other than Huskarl. And I'm sure his economy would be looking good too. Dang. The way I expected Vivi to play this, and maybe Margougou did as well, was to drop the 3rd town center somewhere. You know, just like try and get your eco in a really good spot, play defensive with the Knight Skirm, and then drop a defensive castle and then take it late. So I think that's what Margougou was expecting. To be completely honest with you, Margougou was doing a really good job there. Like, Margougou had solid resources brought in. had crossbow and had knight. He just didn't have the knight numbers. Needed to have more knights. Needed to maybe have a couple more upgrades. If Vivi delays going forward by maybe a minute, then maybe Margougou has a bit more in the way of army, and Margougou holds that, and the game is entirely different. But Vivi wins 2-1 here. But in the end, I think we got to see how good of a player Margougou is. Margougou will continue, I think, to play well. I definitely think Margougou is one of the favorites to be in the top 3 in the group, which would mean that you advance into the playoff stage and the knockout stage after the group stage. So things looking good for Margougou, and things looking really good for Fat Dragon as well. We'll have to see more Gold League action. But to everyone who listened in or watched the Gold League cast here, I appreciate it a lot. Big part of this, obviously, is to bring exposure to the players who might not still be in that top 20 or might be looking to get into that top 20. I think it's really important for our scene. I appreciate you guys watching Gold League even more than I would appreciate you watching Platinum, to be completely honest with you, because obviously people are going to be more drawn to Platinum. So to put in extra work and make this happen for the players and for viewers and have people watch means a lot. And that's not it either. We're going to have more Gold League casts. I can't promise to cover as much, but what I will do is I will be covering the entirety of the round of 12, round of 8, semifinals, final that happens for the Gold League, just like I'll do for Platinum. So if you're worried about me missing the important stages for the Gold League, we're trying to see who gets promoted, who gets the most prize pool, who does this or that, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we'll definitely sprinkle in some gold casts here or there. That was a great series, man. That was an amazing series. Margougou could have won the first game. And I think Vivi could have actually won the second. So, and then Margougou could have won the third. It was a very close series. Good play all around, and lots of different maps too.